In his brand new book, former White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer details some of the biggest conflicts we face as a country today. Perhaps the biggest is the border crisis and the Biden administration's disastrous immigration policy. In a piece from Breitbart, Spicer writes, "We can't have an honest national conversation about illegal immigration because we don't have an honest national media. If you support the border wall or if you want a rational border policy, the media will label you a racist." Meanwhile, the Biden-Harris administration is making policies that create incentives for a migrant onslaught at our southern border. Joe Biden's reckless, knee-jerk impulse to overturn everything Trump accomplished has resulted in death and tragedy at the border. What does the current crisis at our border tell us about the Biden administration's true agenda? Sean Spicer is the author of the forthcoming book, Radical Nation, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's Dangerous Plan for America. He joins me now. Sean, always good to see you, buddy. How are you?
I'm good, Buck. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. New York is getting a little crazy.
I was going to say,
people are losing their minds a little bit, Sean. We don't have you in the White House anymore, buddy, to calm people down. People are freaking out around here. But tell me this. I mean, when you sat down to write this book, tell our folks at home why you really made it about the border. We'll talk about the other things, but the border first and foremost.
Well, first of all, the book is really the first comprehensive look at the Biden and Harris administration. I think the border is basically the best example of what's going on here, and you addressed it a little in the intro. The bottom line is the border. People on the right keep saying, "Why isn't Kamala Harris doing her job?" She is doing her job. If you think that they want to stop this crisis at the border, you're crazy. Joe Biden told us he was going to be the most progressive president ever. This is an attempt to create the largest permanent Democratic voting bloc ever. They want these people to come in. They want them to vote Democrat and ensure a majority going forward. So make no mistake about it. This is all part of the larger plan that they have.
Now, Sean, just give folks a sense. I mean, you said they overturned. I mean, you were in the Trump White House and you know what some of the key policy decisions were about the border. I'm sure you worked very closely with Stephen Miller and others who were looking to try to secure our southern border and take actions there. What are the key things that the Biden administration has undone, that has led to the current situation where I think last month the most recent numbers were over 200,000, which is just crazy in the middle of the summer?
Well, it's two big things. One, on what they've undone side, I think the biggest thing is the Remain in Mexico policy, which allowed people to come up to the border to file their papers, but then have to wait in Mexico. And it created a disincentive if you knew that you weren't going to be processed right away and that you had to wait. The second thing is frankly attitudinal. If you look at what this administration has done, it says, please don't come, please don't come. But if you do, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you a hotel room. We'll put you somewhere in America. We'll allow your children to come in. If you place a migrant child at the border, don't worry, we'll take care of them. We'll find them either a relative or a friend in the United States to immediately place them with. But please don't come. What do you I mean, it's like, don't come to the restaurant. It's closed. But if you do, we're going to feed you dinner and give you dessert. But I hope you don't come because we won't be charging you any money if you do. The messaging is so backwards. The Trump administration made it very clear that you wouldn't be getting into this country if you came illegally. You had a process to follow. We respected the rule of law and that we respected people who follow the rule of law. This administration has made it very clear that they want people to come in and that if you come, don't worry, wink, nod, we'll take care of you.
So tell me what else you get into in your book, Radical Nation, Joe Biden and Kamala's Dangerous Plan for America. Immigration, clearly, long-term strategic play to create one-party state. Totally agree with you on that one. And there's no interest in this administration in actually stopping the illegal flow of migrants. What do you view as other key areas of the radical approach from the Kamala Biden administration?
It's a good question, Buck, because you have to understand that so much of it ties together. So H.R. 1, reason they support that, again, part of a Democratic majority. So they peel back the integrity of our voting system. Why do they want D.C. to become a state? Not because it makes sense, not because they want people to have the right to vote in D.C., which they could if they just gave back the piece of Maryland that was taken from Maryland. They want it because they're going to get 2 Democratic senators out of the deal that would make sure that they cemented their majority in the Senate. Why do they want to pack the court? For the same reason. All of these policies are in pursuit of a larger goal, which is to cement a permanent Democratic majority that will allow them to pursue far left progressive policies. So I look at all those policies and kind of peel back the onion as to what the ultimate goal is. Secondly, we start to look at the people. The people are in Biden Inc., the people that are the loyalists that have been around him, the grifters, if you will, that make money off of him, that trade on the Biden name. Then we also look at the people that he has surrounded himself with, his cabinet at the senior levels of the White House. People like Pete Buttigieg, who ran a small town and now run probably the largest department in the government outside of DOD that runs our planes, trains, automobiles, shipping containers, everything. And he had like 25 buses in South Bend, Indiana. You look at Dennis McDonough running the Department of Veterans Affairs, never served in the military, never had any affiliation with a veteran service organization. Why is he running the VA? Well, because he was Obama's chief of staff. Over and over again, you see people who aren't qualified but check a box, so that they, Pete Buttigieg's case, Biden was very clear. It's the first, openly gay cabinet member confirmed for a major department. And so it checked a box, but they say it out loud. It's not that they're qualified or that they have the experience. It's that they check some sort of left-wing criteria. And so part of what the book does is it gives people a better understanding of what's at stake and how to argue what's going on and have the what we can do to fight back.